Am I the asshole for canceling a trip because my friend can't afford it? Baby, you don't need to be worried about a trip. You need to be worried about clocking in. You need to be worried about how many hours you got this week. Hey hoes. Today we are going to be reading posts from the Reddit forum, I think they're called. I don't know. I'm not on Reddit like some of you jobless people.
Oh, hell no. I know that dress ain't got you thinking that kind of
Today we are going to be reading some posts off of the forum, Am I the Asshole, also known as AITA. But go ahead and buckle up. This is going to be a long one because I know we're going to get into some long discussions because these always seem to have a lot of discussions tied with them. But I hope you guys are doing well, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. I ate that. The first post, am I the asshole for how I reacted when my wife did something we agreed not to do? Well, this one was deleted.
It's a wonderful day.
For the first post, am I the asshole for refusing to go to my sister's wedding after finding out only our side of the family were having to pay to attend? Now, I've never heard of pay to attend a wedding. I've never heard of that. In my honest opinion already, I can already say, if you have to pay to attend a wedding, I don't think they should be having a wedding. I think they need to go to the courthouse, get the paper signed, do a little two-step, and leave. But if I were to have a wedding, I would do it grand. I'd do it like a, ever watch the movie Crazy Rich Asians? So take my hand. Obligatory. This is a throwaway account. Clarification, I'm very active on I don't care. So my younger sister Katie, 28 female, and her partner Chris, 29 male, are getting married in April in Dubai. She has always wanted an extravagant wedding and is going all out on this. So the wedding is happening over 4 days. There's 70 guests, but they want us, me, my husband, and my parents to stay in the same hotel with them along with her bridesmaids. The hotel is pretty luxurious, so with flights, it's costing us just over $290. I gotta stop smoking that stuff. I don't do drugs. I just space out sometimes. Chris's family are also staying in the hotel, which includes his parents, 2 brothers, and his nephew. They are well off. I don't know exactly how much money they earn combined, but I know Katie is on $88K and she is the lower earner. But about 6 months ago, Chris and Katie came to us and asked to borrow $17K more. They stressed it would be a loan paid over time and said the venue had increased the price. Dubai law was different. They paid this money or they lost a lot. We believed them and I offered to loan $7K and my parents the other $10K. I feel like if you cannot pay for it yourself, you should not be having the wedding. So long story short, I have since found out through someone else that the $17K wasn't for the venue, it was for Chris's family to fly over there. They saw how much it was going to be, didn't want to pay, and refused to go. I asked Katie and she confirmed, so my first question was, if they were paying for his parents, why not pay for ours? I would never expect them to pay for me, even if we couldn't afford it. I'd have wished them well and stayed at home. And her answer was, because they can afford it. I would have slapped her. I would have slapped the mess out of her, not gonna lie. She got very defensive and said this was the fairest way she could think of doing it. It's hard enough planning a wedding, etc. But when I asked if you genuinely thought this was the fairest way to do it, why did you lie about the 17? Hello? Why did you lie? Because see, now I don't want to do anything for you. Why did you lie? Because that was her first thing to do, lie. And then have the audacity to say, because you guys can afford it. Girl, shut your mouth and give me my money back. How about that? Cancel the plane tickets. Matter of fact, dispute charges. I don't think that's how that works. I'm just saying anything, but I can say what I want and I can do what I want. Who's gonna stop me? I mean, you can stop me though.
Is this who we are? Is this what we represent?
My parents are aware and are very disappointed they lied, but have said they are still attending. But I have backed out. To me, it feels like my parents are being taken advantage, and if they couldn't afford to pay for both our and Chris's parents and his brothers and nephew, then they shouldn't have just paid for the 4 parents or no one at all. And they especially shouldn't have lied about it. Katie and Chris keep calling and asking me to attend, saying I'm making them feel bad and ruining their day. You make me feel bad when you lied. How about that? You made me feel bad when you said, well, they can pay for it. You made me feel bad That's all I got. But the whole thing just feels icky to me. I'm genuinely an open book, so be brutal. Am I being an asshole here? Should I just suck it up and go? Honestly, I don't think you're the asshole. Number one, they lied. Number two, they're sitting up here and being like, well, they can afford it. Are you in my bank account, Hope? Like, you don't tell me what I can afford and what I want to attend and what I don't want to go to. You're not the asshole. Like, I don't understand this. This is idiotic. And I'm glad the whole thing is giving you an ick, because it's giving me an ick too. Next, am I the asshole for calling my friend out on his rude behavior? Going to use fake names for this post. Oh, you ain't as messy as I want you to be. Sucks to be you, because I would have dropped some names.
Truth is, I'm tired.
Basically, I have a friend who is heavy into bodybuilding. Let's call him Blake. He is your typical gym bro. He claims that people should not eat only red meat and eggs because it boosts their testosterone and will make them more manly in this soft society. That's the first ick that you've given me, Blake. I think you know what I am getting at, and it won't be hard to figure out what type of person he is. Baby, I've already figured that out, and I'm not liking it. He also never holds back his opinions and is quite vocal. Now, I have another friend, James, who is the polar opposite of Blake. Apart from both of them working out, he is 100% vegan, advocates for social welfare, and in general is a quiet person. Essentially, he would be the perfect target for someone like Blake. However, they ended up meeting through me, and all three of us has no issue hanging out together. Blake would voice all his opinions, but for the most part, James would be quiet, and he is also quiet in group settings. In general, I stand neutral on a lot of things. So do I. I feel like when you start picking sides and doing all this, people find something to nitpick at. So, me, I don't say anything, and I just stay neutral. And truth be told, I honestly don't care. I could care less, honestly. I don't put my energy into things like that. And this is what allows me to get along with different types of people. If it is relevant, we are all in college. And honestly, that's the same reason I do it as well. I get along with a lot of different people, and I see a lot of different perspectives. So I never really choose a side on anything. And I love that about myself. But one thing I can tell you, my side on, Roman Reigns is the finest man alive. Over the past few months, James has been trying to be more talkative in social settings and less of a quiet person, including when he is with Blake and I. This means he voices his opinions more often and will disagree with Blake when he previously didn't. However, what I have noticed is that Blake will quickly resort to calling him a pussy and beta male. I hate when we use terms like, I'm your alpha. I really do hate that, like, oh, I'm an alpha male, or I'm this, you're a beta male, or whatever. Shut the fuck up. People like that raise their taxes and raise the price of them to speak and open their mouth. For example, James was mentioning that he is having trouble putting on muscle in the gym, and Blake instantly said, maybe if you stop being a vegan pussy, you'll start getting strong. Is Blake in love with James? I think this secret animosity, well, it's not secret animosity, but I think this animosity for him is actually sexual desire. While I do agree that protein is important for building muscle, there could have been a better way to say it. Adding on to that, Blake will frequently imply that James would become tougher if he started eating a lot of red meat and eggs. Eventually, I decided to confront Blake in private. I told him that he can disagree with James, but he should stop being so rude about it. Blake then told me that if James has an issue with him, he can let him know directly and that he is a man. Eventually, it led to Blake claiming that I am accusing him of being aggressive. I mentioned that James isn't going to directly tell him if he feels offended or hurt, to which Blake said that isn't his problem. He is being aggressive. There is no accusation. You are. Second of all, you're not the asshole. Like, I don't even know why this post was made. Blake needs to be wiped off the face of society, but those types raise the prices. Am I the asshole for canceling a trip because my friend can't afford it? I have a lot to say about this one now. I have a lot to say. Well, let me go ahead and read. I, 20 female, have a close friend, 21 female, who has been asking for months to go to LA for a fun summer trip. So she the one that asked, but you don't have the funds in the account. Don't piss me off. Now, we live around 8 hours away, so I kind of just assumed we'll fly, and the other day when she brought it up, I told her we should probably book our flight soon. To that, she looked really confused and told me how she couldn't afford plane tickets and she wanted to drive. Okay, you can drive. I'll get my happy ass on a plane. Yep. Or I would have flew to wherever she was and drove wherever she needed. Because I wouldn't want her driving alone. But you not having the funds is... it's not hitting. I was sort of confused because if she can't afford a $150 plane ticket, how is she planning to pay for activities and places she wants to go? Okay, yeah, now I didn't know it was $150. Girl, I don't think we need a fun summer trip right now. I think we need to clock in. Just a thought. Just a thought. The activities are Nobu, jet skiing, shopping, clubs, which all add up quick. She also doesn't have her license, which means I would have to do all... You got me fucked up. You got me all the way fucked up. She's trying to play. And I don't like games. Which would be hard as I have bad back issues and driving for so long would be painful. She kind of just laughed and said, since I have money, she assumed I would pay for a majority of her expenses. You assumed wrong. I was shocked because why would she assume I would pay for her expenses without even asking? I have no problem covering something like drinks or ice cream, but to assume I would pay for everything by myself except for the hotel? We had previously agreed to split the hotel 50-50. Okay, if we had agreed on the hotel, we could have talked about, oh, I don't know, how we're getting there. Evidently, she was probably gonna have to pay for gas too. I know this your friend, but this bitch done lost her mind. And it's actually really inconsiderate. This is making me upset for you. And she's laughing. Ain't nothing funny. Like, nothing's funny at all. I don't find this funny. Do you find this funny? I don't find it funny. I told her this trip was her idea and she shouldn't have asked me to go if she was expecting me to pay for everything. She's upset and complaining about how unfair since I can't afford to pay for her. Am I the asshole? No. You are not the asshole for this. Because truth be told, she would have been cut off for being this inconsiderate. Or I would have explained it to her again and laid it all out. And if she didn't get it, you would have been cut off. But this is really just, I didn't actually think people sat up here and did this. Baby, you don't need to be worried about a trip. You need to be worried about clocking in. You need to be worried about how many hours you got this week. That's what you need to be doing. Not no trip, baby. No. Am I the asshole for telling my husband I don't want his mom to stay with us for 2 months in our 1-bedroom apartment? Where's she gonna sleep at? Cause not my bed. Me, 31 female, my husband, 30 male, and I have been married for a few months. His father passed away recently and understandably his mother is grieving. My husband and his sister have been trying to support her. The issue is my mother-in-law may come stay with us for 2 months in our 1-bedroom apartment. Our apartment is small. I work from home full time. We have a cat and we have only 1 bedroom. My husband works in office 3 days a week. His sister and her husband are also expecting their in-laws to visit during that time. So they can't host the mother-in-law, and the mother-in-law apparently doesn't feel comfortable around them anyway. So she wants to stay with us even though we have less space and privacy. So guess what? She better get comfortable with them. I initially asked for a 6-month buffer before having family stay over long term, just so we could adjust to marriage and living together. Completely understandable. That boundary was acknowledged verbally, but now it's been brushed aside because of family duty. I said I'd be okay with a 3-week visit, but anything longer feels really overwhelming. She's really even pushing it with the 3-week visit. Like, honey, you're very generous. Because me, I wouldn't have did it one day. One day. Probably not even that. A couple hours. When does your flight leave? Great. You should be boarding soon. Especially in a small space. I've also suggested an Airbnb, which I could probably help pay for, but my husband and his sister don't see that as reasonable. What's wrong with an Airbnb? You ain't gotta stay with me. What are you gonna do? Fall down the stairs or something?
The truth. Oh.
Now I feel like I only have 3 options. 1, say yes and live in stress for 2 months. 2, move to a 2-bedroom, which we can't afford right now. 3, leave. Option 3 is looking really good right now, isn't it? My husband says I'm catastrophizing and making this harder than it is, but I feel like I'm being emotionally blackmailed and that if I don't agree, I'm cruel, ungrateful, or selfish. I have something to add. Your husband, why is he not on your side? I don't think he's thinking logically. I don't hate my mother-in-law, however, she did fat shame me the day after my wedding. So we're just adding stuff on to the list, huh? She was probably gonna fat shame you in those 2 months anyways. Like, girl. And she expects me to help with domestic duties without asking my husband to lift a finger. Got me messed up. severely. I mostly just value having boundaries and privacy, especially during a vulnerable time in our marriage. I've tried to compromise but feel completely cornered. Am I the asshole for standing firm on not wanting a 2-month stay in our 1-bedroom apartment? I really don't have a lot to say anymore because I've already said my piece throughout the whole thing while I was reading it. No, you're not the asshole because they're being very inconsiderate of you. And I need you to sincerely know that. I don't know what would be happening. Oh. Don't hold your breath. Sorry. I've been living in the South for too long. Time for me to leave your bucket onto your wander. But you were really generous for saying even 3 weeks. But yes, I do not think you're the asshole because what is this? Like, they're really trying you to the utmost ability. And I don't like being tried. And I don't think you like being tried either. Am I the asshole for telling my friend he is a mood killer because he constantly says, "You talk too loud, shut up"? Constantly? FYI, I don't talk loud usually and I don't have any hearing problems. In school or even outside of it, but excitement and what happens influences my voice. Understandable. Same. I usually talk normally, which can be considered calm and quiet, but when something exciting or funny happens, I raise the pitch of my voice, or if they are talking about a gossip or what they got on a test, like, "Yo, good job, bro, I'm proud of you." And my one friend always says, "Oh my gosh, why are you so loud? Lower your tone. There's people in the other classes." Even reading that killed my mood. Like, please back away. I don't know if it just annoys them, but I guess I have a few other people who match my energy are pretty loud together. And I love that for you. Please don't let that person bring you down. Like, I already know the answer to this. And I'm not yelling, by the way. I just raise my voice noticeably. Even if we're in private areas where nobody can hear us, it still seems to bother and I always get the "you're so loud, bro, quiet down." I am also not a very confident person, so I don't know if it's because of that, but I usually don't say anything back. But this time I said, "You always kill the mood when I express something. It's like you want me to be a robot and show no excitement." I feel like I was in the wrong there, but I said it because I got annoyed and I wasn't even yelling. You're not in the wrong. That person is a buzzkill and they're trying to dim your light. Why? I don't really know. Even reading that, I got a buzzkill and I'm through a scream. But I'm glad you can vocalize something like that because a lot of people would not and they would let it keep going on and on and on. Because me, I'm that type of person that's going to say something because I don't care. And that's one of the things I love about myself. I don't care. I keep trying to keep my voice normal, but I can't control it when something's exciting. Like if my favorite soccer team scores a goal, I get so excited and say "goal," but my friend is like, "Stop yelling, bro. Why are you always so loud?" They have a problem. They have a problem with you or they have a problem with themselves. I don't know what it is. If everybody else is loud, why are you just targeting me? Am I being loud and annoying or is it just him? Be honest, please. I can't tell if being direct is a good or bad thing, but sometimes it really kills the mood when I'm talking to someone else and we are excited about something like, "Oh yeah, did you see the game yesterday in the hallway?" And they're like, "Bro, shut up. The people next to us are working." Even if I'm not talking to him, it really kills the mood. Why is he worried? That's my question. I think he wants to get freaky with you. But overall, I really feel like you are not the asshole because this is a mood kill. And I'm glad you said something and stood up for yourself because a lot of people wouldn't. Like, you did that. You did your big one. Next, am I the asshole for telling my friend that it's unfair for me to be on standby just because she has kids? Me, 36, friend, 39, female. Both of them are female. My friend has 2 kids, 2 and 6-year-old with her husband. We've known in each for 2 years, and in all those years, not once has she showed up on time. Doesn't matter if it's a casual coffee date, a play, my birthday dinner, she's always late and usually no less than 20 minutes. One time she even managed to be 45 minutes late to a dinner she invited me to because she needed to grab a few things on the way. Girl, if you're gonna invite me somewhere, please be on time. Actually, be there early. Be there waiting for me because obviously it didn't matter enough. I have tried to talk to her about it many times in different ways and make her understand how I feel. I hate being late and don't appreciate others being late more than the customary 5 to 10 minutes either, especially if they don't give me a heads up because it feels dismissive. Oh, she don't even call you? This bitch done lost her mind. Like, the way I would have been out of that function or I would have already ordered and started eating, I'm so for real and I'm so dead serious. She always brushed it off, so I've just started to add about 20 minutes to any time we're supposed to meet. That's smart. I don't like it, but it sort of works since we don't see each other as much as we used to. A few weeks ago, we decided to go for a walk, just the 2 of us. She pushed the time about an hour because the youngest needed to be put down for a nap, which is fine. As always, I went out right around the time we were supposed to meet and actually ended up being a few minutes late myself because I took a wrong turn and got law. When I showed up, she commented on it. I apologized and we got to talking. She started going on about how she couldn't set a time if we wanted to meet because it didn't always work out with the kids and lots of unpredictable stuff can happen. Stuff happens. I understand that. But when you make a habit of it, no. Absolutely not, because that's uncustomary. Her take was that it would be better if we could meet between, for example, 1 and 2 p.m. and she could just text me whenever she's ready. We don't live that far apart or usually meet somewhere in the middle, but it would still mean that I'd have to sit on standby for whenever she feels ready. And I am sure an hour would not be enough with her time management abilities, which are terrible, and couldn't really plan my day very effectively. I understand that. So I told her that I get how kids are unpredictable. I'm glad you acknowledged her situation. I'm really glad. That's a lot of maturity in that. And I don't mind a bit of lateness because of that, but I also don't think it's fair to me to just sit and wait on her for however long just because she has children. Her husband is super involved and has had no issues with taking both kids for an evening, so I know it's doable. And all my other friends are completely able to be on time despite having small children as well. She sort of got quietly annoyed and said, well, that's just how it is. Well, I guess it's code for live with it, which is why I think I might be the asshole in her mind. Well, on the other hand, I don't think it's fair to me at all because it's not a question of her having responsibilities, but more an excuse to finally just not give a crap about other people's time and plans. So, am I the asshole? I'm really glad that you acknowledge her situation, and I love that. But on the other hand, you are not the asshole because she needs to have better time management skills, and she cannot expect you to just sit on standby. Come on now. That's not how life works. So no, you are not the asshole because you have to allocate your time just like how everybody else has to. And you don't have all the time in the world. And I love that for you. That's employee behavior. Am I the asshole for lying about going to an Ivy League college? Oh, this is juicy. I, 20 female, live in a highly competitive area of the U.S. It's fairly common to meet Ivy League and T10 grads. I don't know what T10, top 10. Community college is also heavily stigmatized here. Most importantly, though, my dad owns his own business where he provides college admissions. During high school, I wasn't an Ivy League caliber applicant. I barely graduated. I stayed secret until my senior year when everyone inevitably asked where I'd be headed. My dad first said I'd be taking a gap year, but one of his clients got the idea that I was going to an Ivy. According to my dad, this client started telling people I was Ivy about, why are you telling my business? And it obviously helped attract more customers to his previously struggling business. Okay. So we helped get some coins in the account. I don't see the fault here. The only way I found out was because my dad asked me to go along with it at a dinner party. And I would have. Baby, we're getting coins. Okay, that's more money for me in college. Hello? This is where I ducked because I agreed. During my freshman year at community college, I was seen by people who thought I was at the Ivy. And they confronted my dad. He said I was taking a gap year and told me to give people the same answer. I also received tutoring jobs through my dad's connections and I made good money from those. Exactly. I would have kept up with this lie. The money is hitting the account. It has to come from somewhere. I'm thinking about the bigger picture here. If y'all are saying y'all wouldn't have done it when y'all saw that check, y'all would have done it then. Tell me you wouldn't have. Exactly. It goes without saying that I was likely hired because they believed I was an Ivy kid. After my gap year, I avoided being seen around town, only really socializing during the Ivy's scheduled breaks. At the same time, I actually applied to the Ivy from my community college, and my dad joked that I would get in so that he wouldn't have to keep lying. I couldn't really talk to anyone in my life about the application since they all believed I was already at the pinnacle of success. Well, I got rejected from the Ivy, but was accepted to UC Berkeley and committed there last week. I finally asked my dad if we could stop with the Ivy and just tell everyone I transfer to Cal, especially since I no longer want to constantly live in fear of people recognizing me every time I'm home while the Ivy's not on break. Honestly, the money would have been worth it, but like, I would not want to have to look over my shoulder. Well, me personally, I would not feel embarrassed. I would not care, but I would not want to have to look over my shoulder and schedule what time I'm going to be out because this college is on break. No, I wouldn't have done that. I would not be sitting up here asking ChatGPT when is this college on break. He said he needs it for business and he can't afford Cal's tuition without the money. We got into a screaming match and I told him that it's literally killing me to tell people I'm going to the dream school I got rejected from. He replied that if I tell everyone the truth, we'll lose most of our income and I'll be responsible for ruining his decades-old business. I don't like that he's guilt-tripping you. I would have done it still because that's what's paying for my college and we have to get to the bag somehow. I want my dad to be happy. I think he fears he'll be shut out if he doesn't have at least one Ivy kid. I'm also not innocent innocent since I've bullshitted people on multiple occasions, some who are the Ivy's alumni, and profited from the lie. On the other hand, every time I hear the Ivy's name, I want to cry. And I also want to receive recognition for going to Berkeley, a school that I think is just as good, even if it's a public school. You are not the asshole. I understand from your perspective, but I also think that you need to think about where that money is coming from. Well, obviously you have, but I would keep up with the lie, baby. I would keep lying until I get that degree. Am I the asshole for asking about money owed to me? No. You know, I struggle with this exact same thing, and I've been asking for that money. I won't forget, $90. I've been asking for that money for months.
16 carriages driving away.
My 37 female ex, I'm 40 male, owes me $1,500. I will be getting my money. One way or the other. And said he would pay me when he gets paid for a large job early June. He works freelance, so doesn't get a regular paycheck. Okay, I understand that. I know with 100% certainty he doesn't have the funds to pay me right now, but does have a large check coming. A few weeks back, I offered a payment plan where he pays me $500 a month or something, thinking that might be easier for him. He was offended by that suggestion. I haven't mentioned the money since. For context, I make more money than him and am financially secure. He spends every dollar he earns. Not surprisingly, finances were a large source of conflict for us. If finances were a large sense of conflict for y'all, why would you give... Are you slow? Anyways, fast forward to yesterday. We're low contact. He texts me asking for the house cleaner's number. We live together. I asked if he has a date for when he'll be able to pay me. If he has disposable income for a house cleaner, I like to see some of that my way. Here you go. Now you're speaking my language. He says I'm being petty, especially since I'm not hurting for money as he is. He's trying to manipulate and guilt trip you. He wants your pity. You're not getting it, baby. Run me my check. You worried about a house cleaner? Run me my check. How about that? I'm petty for that check. I got Apple Pay, I got Cash App, I got Zelle, baby, I got PayPal even. But I'll send you an invoice. I say my financial stability has nothing to do with the fact he owes me money. He proceeds to tell me it's disgusting, rabid, and that I can't wait for payment. I stopped responding and did not give the house cleaner's number. Am I the asshole? No, you're not the asshole. Are you a little bit slow?
Bitch, I'm screaming.
Am I the asshole for contacting my ex's affair partner to warn her of his behavior? I'm a 29 female, boyfriend 35 male of 3 years, just celebrated our anniversary on May 4th. He cheated on me a couple weeks after our first anniversary in 2023 and gave me an STD. Oh, I decided to forgive him and work on our relationship, but a few months after I found that he had cheated on me 2 more times over text and in person. Girl, you went back? I don't even want to read this no more. You done lost your mind. I think y'all are slow. Nothing physical, but flirting with girls and getting their numbers. I know, honestly, I do not know why I accepted him from this point. I don't know why you did either, but you know, a lot of things that we just don't know apparently. Anyways, he bought tickets to LIB at the beginning of the year without telling me. I told him we could work through it and I would be willing to overcome my own anxiety if it meant he could do something he loved again. But he came back home yesterday and deleted my picture from his Instagram account. Oh, he being messy. I called him 6 times. What? I know you didn't call that man 6 times, girl. So
Really? Oh, what you gonna do?
I called him 6 times wondering what I could have done to warrant such behavior. He broke up with me over text and said that he met someone new, another 29-year-old he could manipulate. Y'all done lost your minds! I found the girl's social media and decided to warn her of his history and his manipulation tactics, but she mocked me instead and laughed in my face. Ha ha ha! The joke's gonna be on her because you told her. You're not the asshole. You tried. Because if he did it to you, he's going to do it to somebody else. And I'm glad that you saw that. And I'm glad that you warned her. You did the right thing. Am I the asshole for telling my dad I won't let him meet any of my future partners? So it seems so weird, but I have a huge insecurity when it comes that if my dad wouldn't meet any of my partners. I'm 20 male living with my single dad, 42 male. We have a close bond and he is really amazing father, but he was the reason for many of my former breakups. He is so handsome and really beautiful man. He got attention everywhere he goes. clothes. So yeah, he is this good looking. When I was younger, I never had any problems, even though people were so mean, asking if I was adopted because there was no way it was my dad's genes. That's mean to say to a child. I'm not ugly by any chance, but whatever. Dad never was a bad person and he sacrificed so much for me. He worked more than 2 jobs. He tried to always be there for me, even though, girl, the grammar! I don't even want to read it no more, but I'm gonna push through. He tried to always be there for me, even though the money was tight. He bought me everything I wanted. Now I don't find it bad that he looks young or whatever, but when I was in high school, it was so weird. I dated a girl who, as soon as she met dad, she literally tried to ask him out. This thing made me really insecure because I wasn't ready for this kind of heartbreak again. I didn't want to blame dad when he absolutely did nothing, but I can't help feel angry. And I know I would be the asshole for saying that, but I just wished he wasn't good looking at least more than me. It's a weird thing to say, but I can't vent anywhere. So yesterday I finished my part-time job late. My coworker has a car and she offered me a ride since we are on the same way. She was so nice that she dropped me off in front of my house. Dad saw us because he was in front and then started to ask me about her, if she was my girlfriend or my crush. And she seems like a really nice girl. He was just smiling and trying to have a conversation with me, but I just rolled my eyes and told him even if she was my girlfriend, I won't let you meet her anyway. He then stopped talking and seemed really sad and went to his room. We didn't talk this morning also, and I'm so angry with myself. I'm blaming him for something that he didn't have any hand in, but I can't help but feel angry at him. I don't even know the reason. Now, this is gonna be my first one. You are the asshole, actually. You're up here taking this out on this man for something that he cannot control. You need to pick better people. That's what you need to do. I'm with Fine Daddy over here. Now, your daddy got somebody. I see how hard working he is, and I think he needs to taste of some of this southern.
What the fuck is you talking about?
Am I the asshole for not letting my boyfriend borrow $1,000 from me? I am really needing help here. Me and my boyfriend are soon to be moving in together. He needs money to buy parts to work on a car to get it drivable. He has asked me for anywhere from $1,000 to who know how much because we don't even know everything that's wrong with it. Mind you, $1,000 is around 1/4 of what I have available in my savings account that I have been saving to move out. He has about $700 or so to his name. So he doesn't even have any savings. He's just has $700 to his name. Boy, go clock in, because this is giving bum behavior. I will be in school every day except weekends, but I will still be working to afford rent and basic needs. Him, on the other hand, will just be mainly working and going to the gym to keep us afloat. He has yet to apply to a new job in the area that we will be living, so I figured instead of him borrowing that much money from me, he could find a job that works in my schedule. I have a car and am more happy to take him anywhere he needs. This has been an argument for weeks off and on. I've given him multiple solutions, but none of them he liked. On calls, I've told him that, working hard for a few months and being really disciplined on not eating out will get you that money quick. I feel like you can live without a car until you can afford one. I am stuck and I don't know what to do. I feel guilty for not agreeing, but I also feel like I'm being reasonable for not giving that amount of money, especially when we are preparing to move. You are not the asshole. I can already tell you this. And the fact that you are like, if you find a job that works in my schedule, I can take you wherever you need to go. That's not an issue of getting around. You already have a car. You have a ride. You just need to find that job and get it pushing. But obviously, from you saying he has $700 to his name and you have savings, you said that's 1/4, so you got like $4,000 in savings. So that means you have some money in your checking and your savings account. You're good. Dump him, because something's fishy here. Also, some background info on why I'm weary about him borrowing money from me. About a year ago, he had lost his car key and was stuck at my parents' house. He lives about 2 hours away and no one else to get him. With no way out, my mom got him a locksmith, a new key, and an agreement that she will be paid back. I bet you he didn't pay her back. I bet you. It was around $170 or so. She brings it up on occasion. Anytime I mention it to him, he just says he can't pay for it at any time, but yet never does. I see a pattern here. He wants me to communicate to her through me, and I'm not that comfortable with it because we are adults, and I feel like he can maintain his own conversations and relationships with my parents without me being the middleman. Please help. Am I being mean and unreasonable? No, you are not. You are not the asshole in this situation. I feel like, honestly, he's not looking for a job. He has everything he needs. He has all the resources that he needs. He is not looking for a job because he wants to live off you. This is unemployed bum behavior, and I feel like, honestly, you'll be better better off either finding you somebody else or being on your own and doing it on your own. You have the right headspace and you have the right, resources and setting that you are also extending to him as well. He just doesn't want to take it. He wants to be lazy. So I honestly feel like he's not pulling his weight and you are not the asshole. Am I the asshole for telling my friend I won't drive her to work anymore after she kept making us late? I, 25 female, have been giving my friend Lena, 27 female, a ride to work for the past 3 months. We live a few blocks apart, work at the same place, different departments, and start at the same time, so it made sense at first. At the beginning, everything was fine, but over the past month, she started running late, like really late. I text her when I leave my house, and sometimes I end up sitting outside for 10-15 minutes waiting. I would have already left, because you're not finna make me late to clock in. You're not about to jeopardize my job. You can jeopardize your own when you have a way to and from work on your own. So be ready. Matter of fact, be outside. Stand on the porch. Stand in the driveway, not even on the porch. Be ready. A few times she's even asked me to swing by a coffee shop or drop her off at a different entrance, which adds time. Oh, she's just being inconsiderate. She thinks this is a joke. We've both gotten written up for being late twice now. I finally told her this week that I can't keep driving her if she's not ready on time. I said I like her and I don't want to fall out over something small, but I need to look out for myself and my job. She got really quiet and said she didn't think it was a big deal and that I was being kind of cold over something that was supposed to be a favor. She is so inconsiderate and I would have dropped her as a friend so bad. Even if you don't drop her as a friend, I would have stopped taking her to work and I'd be like, you need to find your own way. If you're going to be late on your own time. Especially if you've gotten written up twice for this now. This cannot keep happening. Now she's barely talking to me at work and a mutual friend told me she feels ditched. I didn't mean to hurt her, but I feel like I was doing her a favor and she started treating it like a service. I'm not her Uber driver. So, am I the asshole for cutting her off the ride after she kept making me late? You're not the asshole. I felt like she took you as a joke and she took you as a chauffeur and you weren't getting paid. You will not jeopardize your job that pays your bills and makes your money over her being late and being inconsiderate. That's not how life works, and I'm glad you were mature and an adult about it and you told her straight up, because nobody would have been playing with my money and my check. But that is it for the confessions. No.
The truth.
But anyways, that is all for the Am I the Asshole post. I really actually enjoyed these. I really did. But most of them on here were actually very mature and they came to the conclusion, they're aware. The way they go about it may be a little wonky and the way they got into these situations may be a little wonky. But at the end, most of them and all of them actually were aware. But make sure to put, what you thought about some of these below and also give me some more video ideas in the comments. And make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok as well. I'll be doing that from here on out whenever I feel like it, I guess. I love you guys and peace.